Please give a round of applause for Ms. Richa Lamsal. Please welcome Ethan Moitoso. Please give a warm welcome to Alyssa Adson. And finally, welcome to the stage, Ms. Priscilla Torres.
Do you believe the United States has a duty or responsibility to play a leadership role around the world? If so, what role do we play? Should we play? Why or why not?
That's an amazing question. I think we do have a duty to play a leadership role. For one, we are a free country that other countries or other states strive to be. I think that we have so much free will and power, and overall it's just such a great place to be. Everybody wants to, I wouldn't say be exactly like us, but they respect how we do everything. And I think that also we just, let me see. So basically, the United States also is one of the most powerful nations economically, militarily, and politically. And majority of the U.S. is to defend and promote Americans. So I think their role is to have a leadership role enhancing society.
I also definitely agree with her because a lot of people do look up to us, like she said, because we are really strong, like politically, economically. So I definitely do believe are like an older sibling to those around us because we are ones who like started it, and many people do look up to what we say and kind of how we run things. So I definitely think that can play an impact on people around us.
If I may take this question, I believe a lot of people might take this question in a military way. But America is known for its education as well. Many immigrants have come here for the education. So because of that, I believe we can spread education resources around the world. Rather than everyone coming here, we can also spread those resources because that is what America is strongly known for, and that is one thing we should spread for. But along with military, as some countries obviously need help, and we have the duty to be there for them as they can be there for us. But along with that, sometimes it is okay to realize that our country needs its needs first. As it is as humans, it's sometimes okay to recognize, hey, it's okay to put ourselves first rather than our friends, or in this case, countries.
I completely agree. Sorry, do you want to speak? Okay, I completely agree. I think that obviously the United States wants to play a leadership role. I think that we should play a leadership role in the world, and that role should be a lead by example. I think with how popular we are in the world already, we should lead other countries by example in freedom, democracy, and equality, because that's what most of the other countries and nations look up to the most.
Those are all amazing points. And to kind of just piggyback off what everyone here has said, the United States has played a role for a long, long time. We recently had our 250th year anniversary, and I feel like everyone, they try to not aspire to, but to try and just compete with us with our freedoms. We have one of the best freedoms in the world. We have our Constitution, our Bill of Rights, and I feel like with our strong economic and military forces we have here, that we should play a role in either helping in create peace with all the wars going around, or for example, we're helping with Ukraine in Russia. We've been doing that for a while, and we can try and help those smaller countries and just play a part in keeping the world safe and trying to keep things kind of chill.
Piggyback off Ethan, sometimes, like he said, military in order to help these wars. But I believe sometimes it is not the best to be loud, but either to be silent but also help the nation. As if we are able to be loud with these ideas, sometimes it does become bad for other countries. So because of this, we can help silently but effectively.
Thank you all. Our next question, I'm going to start with some context. In the United States, the president is not chosen directly by the people's total votes. Instead, an electoral college system is used. The question is, should the United States replace the electoral college with a direct popular vote in presidential elections?
I would like to go ahead and start this one off because I definitely do think that we should go ahead and replace popular votes with popular votes, because lots of people, as you know, are very opinionated, and lots of people have their own perspective on how they want to view things. So I definitely think that if we go ahead and have national popular vote, it would ensure that every vote would count just as equally.
I completely agree. I think that, yes, we should replace the electoral vote with the direct vote, And that's because while the electoral vote was made to make everything more fair, I think it could be seen as unfair. It is not every country or state, not every state has the same amount of votes, and it typically leaves out the smaller states. So I think to make everything more understandable and more direct, we should use the direct voting.
I would like to start off by saying this electoral college vote was started in 1887, where our world was much different. We still had slavery, we still all had women's rights that were not allowed to vote. But only a small amount of people were allowed to vote. But now today we are a changed society. Upon millions of people are allowed to vote today. Because of this, the electoral college system doesn't come as much as it fed. And because of this, new voters are recognizing that their vote doesn't really count. So because of this, we should be able to have individual votes, as it lets them know that we are able to have our own opinions and also that our voice matters. And one more point I would like to add, in our on our Declaration of Independence, it states that all men are created equal. If all men are created equal, meaning that everyone is the same and that everyone's voice counts, why shouldn't all of our voices count during this voting time?
You guys make great points, sorry about that. I do, however, disagree. I think that we should keep the electoral college rights. Yes, you guys make some great points, and you're honestly creating me to almost think that. However, I think that we're doing great with the electoral votes because for the past 200 years in history, there actually has only been 5 times where the popular vote where the electoral vote lost the popular vote. So even though maybe 5 out of those times it could have been wrong, they re-elected 4, so overall it has a good status. They pick people that they know are fair. So yes, though I do think that you guys make some good points, I also think that some people cheat at voting and they vote more regularly, they vote twice. So I think overall it's more fair to have people that we know we can trust, and it seems to be working. So overall I think we should keep electoral college votes.
That's a great point. However, another way to look at it is that if everyone were to have their own vote, we would all get an equal say. We would all get our own opinion. For example, if we were to keep with the electoral college system, we would have states like New York, California, and Florida. They would be running most of the election. Whereas states like Delaware, Nebraska, Virginia, places like that, they have much smaller populations, so they wouldn't get as big of a say. If we were to change it to a more popular vote, everyone would get the same amount of opinion. They would get the same opinion. They would get the same say in it, and they would all make it fair.
I would like to ask Ella a question. You say that it's fair with these electoral college votes, but what about the small states? A lot of candidates, they aren't going to these small states as they think it doesn't matter. So what is your opinion on that?
That's a great point. Like I stated, I think it has been working, and I do believe that maybe we should get more people and pull more people from other states that are smaller. But overall, it has been working, and it has been being fair. So yes, you do make a great point. Maybe they shouldn't. I'm not completely all for it. I'm not saying that other states shouldn't have as many people because they're smaller and they don't get as many votes. But what I'm saying is it has been working for these past few years. So yes, they can make changes. They can evaporate it and make it better. But overall, it's been working. So I think that we're doing great right now how it is.
I would like to add on to what I said earlier. What Ethan said is that he brought up equality. And like I said in the last question, a bunch of different countries and nations look at us for our freedom, democracy, and equality. So to keep things more equal and more fair, I think that direct votes would definitely keep them more equal.
Thank you. Our next question. Many things in America, like music and food, are greatly influenced by international flavor. Does that make the U.S. more or less culturally rich?
I think that makes the U.S. very culturally rich because if you look around, the U.S. is very diverse. So bringing all these different spices, new dishes, new meals, it really brings a new perspective on things, such as how if you wanted, you could say, do I want to eat Mexican food? Do I want to go out for Chinese? And I think just seeing where everybody comes from and seeing what their dishes and what they brought here, that really makes us culturally rich.
I completely agree. I see how some people could think it make us less culturally rich because we would lack our own culture. However, I think it makes us way more culturally rich. Like she said, we are full of the variety. We have many different music tastes and food tastes from many different cultures. And like you said again, variety, we have many different people from those cultures. So I think that would make us more culturally rich in the fact of variety.
I totally agree agree with you. I also think that they make us all more culturally rich because we have 400 different diverse backgrounds here in the United States. So I think that definitely makes us have more cultures, more traditions, more food, more variety, and it's amazing. I love that about us. We also have over 300 different spoken languages, and though Duolingo doesn't help me too much with Spanish, I do think that it's super amazing because we have a variety of everything, and overall we just have so much of other cultures that we can make our own and develop from all of them.
Those are great points, and I would 100% agree. We have people from all over the world that try and come to America because they think it's a great place. And I would agree, it is a very great place. And like you said earlier, the ability to say, oh, I want to go get Chinese, or oh, I want to go get a burger, is a really cool thing. We have such a diverse country here, and I believe that by having that diverse country, it makes a very cultural place.
I like to think of America as a vision board, especially as we have come to the New Year's and it's January. I like to think of it as a vision board, and maybe with 50 different photos. One side you might have food, one side you might have the gym. It's all new, but also this one great connected idea. Along with that, everyone takes these visions of their own and makes it into their own as they hit those personal goals that they want for themselves. Just as how America takes culture and makes it its own, adapts it, but also leaves a little sprinkle of its own culture it came from.
I also want to add on, and yes, even though we do have lots of culturally rich, and we are very rich in that, since we are so diverse, even in schools, it allows us more of an opportunity to go ahead and connect with the people around us. Such as, if I wanted Richa is very open, and I just love how she goes ahead and communicates about where she's from, and I think that is such a great opportunity here in the U.S., and it really allows us to go ahead and connect with the people around us, and I think that's just a great opportunity.
Thank you. Our last question, we have about 4 minutes remaining. Community service activities such as volunteering, helping local organizations, or participating in service projects can teach students responsibility and empathy. Should schools require students to participate in community service?
That's an amazing question. So I'm going to give you an example from my school. I go to Summerlin Trails, and we have a program called NJHS. And what that is a leadership role. And we're actually required to do community service. And I feel like schools should require that. That is an amazing skill to have. You are helping out your community. You are learning to build things. You are learning to just help others around you. And I feel like if schools were to require that community service, people would be more willing to help out and more willing to volunteer their time.
I also definitely agree because if you go ahead and you participate in community service, that really boosts your self-esteem and your self-image. And I think if we go ahead and do that, that really allows people to go ahead and use the saying, it's better to give than to receive. And I think that means a lot because honestly, if I were to go and do community service, I would feel like I'm giving a lot to my school, and that honestly just feels really good. And I think that many people would benefit from the opportunity.
Not only does community service help with empathy, especially that's something a lot today in this very controversial world, I believe we are all kind of lacking a little, but not only does it do that, but it makes you look at other people's perspectives and see how their world is and to see how privileged we are. But along with that, it also helps us and benefits us, as there's something called our nucleus analysis, if I might be saying that wrong, but it's a part of our brain that makes us feel happy and feel good about ourselves whenever we do something good. And if we're able to provide that community service, we are able to feel better about ourselves, therefore creating a better school environment, more kinder school environment, and overall creating a more world that is more connected and more beautiful together.
Those are amazing points. I agree with all of you. Also, I would like to add in Mr. Horton's speech, he talked about the highs that the endorphins can make you feel good about yourself. It's called helper's high. So basically, when you help somebody else, it gives you this energy and this achievement of saying, wow, I did something great, and it's scientifically, it is a reason, it is a way, just like Mr. Horton was saying in his keynote, which I think is an amazing thing that he was talking about. I also think that it should be required because it gives you communication skills for the future. It gives you, like I said, the helper's high, and not only does it give you all of that, it also gives you a way to connect with people and a way to help others.
I completely agree. You guys all made incredible points. Going off of what Ethan said, I also have an NJHS at my school, and it is required that we do community service. And community service brings me great helpers to high, like Ella said. And then I also think it should be highly encouraged for everyone else around the school. Community service in total brings the community together, and encouraging the students to to participate in the community service involves them in the community. Also, according to Western Connecticut State University, community service helps grow social and relationship skills, by forcing students and other people in the community to work and get along with other people.
I want to add off of something that she said about how it really brings us together as a community. And yes, such as at school, I was helping doing community service for an AVID class, and I was going ahead and helping my classmates, and it really brought us all together. And yes, even though going and doing community service, that is working, but honestly, it brings you together so much, and it's honestly so much fun to go ahead and connect with those around you.
That's amazing. I would also like to add in Western Connecticut University source that I found that it also shows that they boost your health while helping others, which is amazing because not only do you help others and make them feel amazing, you also boost your own health.
That is our time. Thank you all and congratulations. Thanks, Sylvia, for just a moment. I believe Mr. Taylor will help you out with the microphones.
Thank you so much.